Welcome to the 210 Podcast, Catalytic Conversations with your host, Nathan Buck. Why is readiness important, and how does God lift us through our imperfections? The conversation starts now.
Those times seem to hit whenever I halfway don't even expect them to.
Yeah.
And it's just actually that big a lift.
I'm very glad to have my friend Chad Koons here. He is a pastor, and we both have been in ministry for, it seems like forever, rarely together, which has been interesting in our journey. But whenever we're together, the conversation's always fruitful, and we always have a lot of fun. But before we go there, why don't you just share a little bit like who you are and what you're passionate about? Would you interrupt, please, at some point?
Yeah, sure. When I felt called as a young man. I think I was 16 whenever I came to Jesus, and went off to Bible college, all these different things, missionary work, Ireland, came on back to Harrisburg again back in 2005, became involved in ministry. I did youth ministry, worship, leading, directing, drama, assistant pastor, discipleship, men's group. You just do it all in a ministry, don't you?
Mhm.
So yeah. And the passion for sure, just like Paul had said, was to present everybody mature in Christ and to strive with his power that so mightily works in me to do that, because I have learned a long time ago, same with you, man, we can't do it on our own because the well will run dry quick, because there is no shortage of need, of family need, business need, church need, leadership needs. Everything's pulling for you and screaming at you at the same time.
Yeah.
So thank God for the Holy Spirit and for the empowering and for friendships like you to help sharpen each other. Grateful.
Yeah, well, I love the fact, like, I've always considered you, in many respects, a warrior.
Mm.
You're a very deliberate and tactical person on the spiritual level, right? Like, and being able to discern um, when it's time to really go after something and walk in the authority of Christ. But what always strikes me about you is that you're not somebody that claims that authority for your own. And actually, I was thinking about that in regards to I was at a prayer breakfast yesterday, and one of the pastors in that prayer breakfast shared a devotion, and out of that conversation came the idea that we're not prepared for the power of God until we understand how to handle the glory of God.
Oh my goodness.
And the point of it being that we're so apt to take credit, right? We're so apt to be like, well, yeah, that person was healed because I laid hands on them, right? And the reality is that maybe we don't see a lot of the miraculous because we're way too willing to take credit. You know very clearly that if you go into battle, you don't go unguarded, and you don't go in Chad's authority.
But yeah, it's true, because just like David, who was actually a warrior king, his heart first was after his father. Yeah,
Yeah, it's good.
for God to say that, David's a man after my own heart, man, that breaks me to think
Yeah.
it, because if it doesn't start in the prayer closet,
Yeah.
when things get real and the rubber meets the road, it's
Right.
too late to get ready. You you have to arrive ready to roll.
Yeah.
David actually said, "Your word, Lord, have I hidden in my heart that I may not sin against you." And to have that seated and growing inside of you, that the overflow comes, and comes out of having been in the presence of God.
Yeah, that's so good. That readiness
Oh,
doesn't begin at the moment that you have something in front of you that you have to deal with. Readiness is a constant state of being close to God. But I'm so bad at it because I'm such a
oh,
human.
so many times, yeah.
Yeah.
And then you feel so insignificant when you actually come back to yourself
Yeah.
and you get down on those knees and say, Lord, look, I was doing that on my own.
Oh yeah.
You could have left the room and I wouldn't have even known it.
Mhm.
Lord, who am I that you would even choose me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's harder to see when it's the good things that we do in our own strength, right? It's
Oh,
easier to see when it's the things that we're doing to gratify ourselves,
oh
right?
yeah.
Or the struggles that we have or the sins
Oh
that we battle against. It's easier to see that, yeah, God hasn't left the room, right? He really hasn't. But
yeah.
there
Yep.
is that sense of we don't care. Like we're really just doing our own thing. And then you come to yourself and you're like, what in the world was I thinking? Like
What was I thinking?
none of this ever would be better than him. It could be half a second, but it feels like a lifetime when you stand in the presence of God, whether it's in prayer, worship, whatever it is, wherever is the place where you're in God's presence. There's just this sense of Him loving you, correcting you, strengthening you, lifting you, healing you, cleansing you. Like He does it all at once, and there's this lift, and you go, I totally don't deserve that. I really don't. And there's almost like a sense in which he goes, "Yeah, I know. Like I know, and I love you. Like I'm crazy about you. Like let's get back to it, right?"
Have you found in those big God moments of like miraculous, or like, a word comes from the Lord or something to us that actually feels big, those times seem to hit when whenever I halfway don't even expect them to.
Yeah,
And it's just actually that big lift
yeah,
where God will just show up and show out.
yeah.
And he used you in that process,
Hmm.
but you didn't go into that as God's man of power for the
Right,
hour.
right,
You
right.
know,
Yeah, yeah,
that was never it. You were simply available,
yeah,
and look what God will do. And just to prove again, it, it's all him. It is not me. It isn't you. If
yeah,
we're simply available, how can a young man make his way pure? I say that quite a lot to all the young leaders in my life,
yeah.
because it starts there. If you can put your effort, energies, dreams, goals, plans, all these things into him first,
Hmm.
roll all of our works onto him, surely your way will be established.
Yeah,
And then he has that space to come and to do what he wants to do, because after all, it isn't my kingdom, it isn't yours, it's
right.
his.
Yeah. There's three different times when God kind of catches me unexpectedly like that. The one where I need it most is after a moment where I've really struggled with something, or I've just like screwed up. I'm just I failed at something, and I'm in the midst of repenting and just kind of beating myself up and all of that, and just saying, Lord, I know like I'm not going to allow the accusations of the enemy to
Yeah.
stay here, but I want to be honest and I want to be clean with you. And it doesn't normally happen right in that moment, right? It's almost like God allows confession. He allows me to work through that and
Process.
what's true, what's not true. And then at an unexpected moment, it could be minutes, it could be hours, it could be days later, where there's all of a sudden that lift where it's like, I got you. Like we're good. Like let's go. The second time where God has done that with me is like you described, where I walk into a situation, I'm not expecting what's about to happen. Something happens, and all of a sudden, there's clarity.
Yeah.
His word comes to my mouth. I mean, scriptures that maybe I haven't read for a long time, and which that sounds weird to say because we should be reading it all the time, but I don't read the whole Bible every day, right?
Yeah.
So like scriptures that aren't necessarily top of mind,
Yep.
boom, it's there and it's with authority and it's with understanding, and you go, yeah, that totally wasn't me. And then the third way in which God has surprised me is when I don't know a new assignment is coming,
Mm.
right? Like in those moments in those seasons of my life where I've been transitioned from one thing to another,
Yeah.
whether I was kicking and screaming and saying, I'm not going to tell you no, but I really don't want to. It's been in those seasons where God, like the minute that I say, or not the minute, but somewhere in the process of saying, okay, I trust you. This isn't really what I want to do, but okay. Somewhere after that is the moment where there's a lift that is so transformative. Like it's
Oh,
so powerful that you go, and now
powerful.
I can't imagine doing anything different, right? Like there's just something in that moment that he goes, okay, and now that you're willing, I'm going to completely reorient you
Yeah.
in my understanding and my presence and my power. And you go, oh, okay, all right, all right. I didn't conjure that one up like that. So those are the
Bottle
three
that.
major moments in my life where I've experienced those kinds of things.
It's huge. I wish I could bottle that because it needs to be something that I can just have in my back pocket and pull
Yeah.
out, drink down.